Hello, guys. Well, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is another phenomenal, rousing, amazing episode of...
She doesn't even go here.
That's right, my unsolicited views on life and business and motherhood and womanhood and all of the other stuff that I'm pretty sure is illegal in 17 states, just being me. So this week, I am super excited because, you guys don't even understand.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes, honey, it is back to school. My kids go to school tomorrow, and it's Christmas. I am so excited. Now, they're walking around here like dead men walking, like it's their execution day tomorrow. I am so thrilled. And in part because I am ready to get back to work. Let me put it like that. I've had some amazing times with my kids. I got to travel with my kids. I got to do a lot of fun activities with my children. I got to watch one of my sons be in a musical, which was phenomenal. He's absolutely amazing. He has so much personality and so much talent. I got to also be witness to my oldest son create what has to be the most beautiful and unbreakable bond with his baby brother, who's 3. And, I got to see my daughter really flourish this summer as she turned 16, and she got to travel to New York. She got her hair done by this award-winning stylist, and she's doing all of these photo shoots. So it has just been a really, for lack of a better term, beautiful summer just watching my kids. But I'm ready for them to go back to school. Yes, it was absolutely beautiful, and we will never be able to get that time back. So I'm glad that we really had some awesome experiences. But mama got to work. It's for them. It's one of me. It's expensive. It's hard out here for a pimp. So, I've got my speaking gigs, I've got my coaching, I've got my wedding planning where I'm designing and doing all types of fabulous things. And then I also opened up a wedding planning studio. So I am pulled in a lot of different directions, and I thought I would make this episode about this because so many people are like, oh my God, you have how many kids? You have how many businesses? Or you do what? How do you do it? And a lot of times I'm like, baby, a majority of the time it's just God and vodka, because, you don't know, what is hard because you just do it. You know what I mean? My husband has been deployed a lot, so it's always me at home. It's always me with the kids. So when people say, oh my gosh, how do you do everything? I have no idea how I do everything because I just have to do it, So, but I that's not necessarily true either, because I do have a lot of systems set in place, which are really important. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about, because I know that my kids go back to school at an ungodly early time frame. So this may help somebody else that's preparing. But one thing that I do is that I set definite office hours for my businesses. So it is from Tuesday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And my clients don't get my cell, they get the office number, and we have an amazing phone system which rings to our cells or any number that we designate if we are out of the office. But I love it because the phone's cut off at 6. You don't get to go through to anyone except for voicemail after 6 o'clock. And on Saturdays, it goes until 12 because, we are by appointment then, and we're off on Sundays and Mondays. And that has been a struggle for a lot of couples because they don't understand that, hey, you're my wedding planner and I need you to be available when I'm available. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Susie, when you need your pap smear, I don't see your OBGYN chilling at his office until 7:30 waiting for you to get off, just hanging out with the speculum and the stirrups, just listening to Spotify waiting for you to walk in. No, you're not going to get that with me either. I give up my weekends by choice, naturally, because I absolutely love what I do. But nevertheless, I do give up my weekends to help other people celebrate. Those weekends are the days that my children are off from their own jobs, from school. I don't get a chance to really see them. If I work an event on Friday or Saturday, and the majority of the time I am, I only have Sunday off. And at that point, y'all, it's just tragic. Like, I am dead to the world on Sunday. I will normally be raising the lid to my coffin at about 6 p.m., and that's when they're getting ready for their day. There have been many times where I was like, look, y'all, here's some cereal and some fruit snacks, and there's some frozen dinners in the freezer. Please do not call me, yell for me, knock on my door, call my phone, text my phone. Do not have Alexa or Google ring any of the devices in my room unless somebody is dying. Working weddings hurts, y'all. It hurts. Y'all get it. You already know. But nevertheless, when they get home from school, even then that's in my office hours. So depending on what I have going on, they don't always get my undivided attention then either. So from 6 until they go to bed, it's my time with them. It's my time to be a mom. It's my time to be Terica. It's my time to be, a wife, a daughter, a sister, all of that. I am not 7-Eleven. Not open all day. There is absolutely no reason for anybody to have to text me or to call me about their wedding. I am not part of Homeland Security, military personnel, emergency medical personnel, nothing like that at all. It can wait until the next day. So that is something that I have always been adamant about from the onset of my business. There have been a lot of people who did not like it, but that's between them and their God, honey. I don't have anything to do with that. I do explain it up front, and a lot of people do understand, and they learn my process and when to get a hold of me. So that's been something that's been very important too. Each night, I kind of do a brain dump, and I figure out what I need to do the next day. I don't like having things rest in my brain, so to speak, where I'm like, okay, well, I know I have a lot to do, but a lot can be so many things. It needs to be framed. So I just do a brain dump and I just write out on a piece of paper really quick, or even in my notes app, what it is that I need to do for the next day. And then I kind of like morph it. I Frankenstein it. I push it around. Okay, well, is this clients? Is this, my coaching clients? Is this my speaking engagements? Is this something for the studio? Is this a PR op? Is this something where I have to do another shoot? I line it up into different categories, and then I prioritize everything. So I know what needs my attention when I get up. I am not fumbling around and trying to sit in my inbox all day. That's another thing. I'm a huge proponent of inbox zero. I snooze a lot of emails. I save a lot of emails. I archive and delete a lot of emails. But I also use my email system as somewhat of a to-do list, kind of. I just know what also I have to do and what communications need to be done. So if I do happen to work after hours, no one will ever know it because I schedule my emails to be sent at the onset of business hours the next day. That is extremely important too, and that goes back to the flow of communications with clients. But I wake up and I have my day planned. I know that I'm going to spend maybe the top of my hour in my inbox, just attacking anything that needs to be done, snoozing, scheduling, replying back, or kind of reading or catching up on things. Then I close that completely because I can get caught up in email and be in email all day. I'll go back and schedule a time for me to check my email again later. I only do rapid responses with my emails if I know that this is a conversation that isn't going to happen over the phone and that my client is available and that we're going back and forth with a group or with each other. But more likely than not, I am just doing a check in the morning and then I'm doing a check closer towards the afternoon because I have to free up that in between of my day for projects, designing and appointments and all types of things. So I don't fall into the trap of my email. That is something that is extremely huge too. So when just doing a brain dump and knowing that I have a certain amount of hours each day to do things, that's when I start plugging things in, starting with my higher priority things, with, communicating with vendors or planning upcoming events, and actually plug them into my system. And there's all types of techniques. I think you guys have seen me talk about it before on Instagram when I shared my favorite productivity apps. There's all types of techniques that you can learn to get or to maximize the most out of your day and getting everything that you need done. But you don't know what you have to do if it's always stuck in your head and if it's not prioritized. So that would be the next thing that I would tell you, in addition to setting boundaries and office hours, is to also set some with yourself and make sure that you actually set yourself up for success by knowing what it is that you have to do, and not just being filled with angst and anxiety and stress, in that you're like, oh my God, I have to do something, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So you end up doing a little bit of everything and you end up doing it poorly. Ooh, that's a word right there, honey. I also want you to set some boundaries for yourself too. That's something that I talked about on IGTV. I love saying I have an IGTV channel. That's like amazing. And I don't care that y'all got it too. I got a channel. How about that? Nah. But again, I stopped saying yes to shit I hate. Like, I get that some people have expectations of me or they have needs from me. But if I can't do it, like physically, or if I really can't make the time to do it, or here, we're going to be 100% real. If I cannot spare the mental space to do it, and it causes me to put someone else's task or something that I really don't want to do ahead of the priorities of things that I have to do, like work, my kids, my family, all of that, I say no. So yeah, shout out again for #NotYourBroom. I'm not doing it. So I set a lot of boundaries with myself. I'm very clear on what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And it's not always a hard no or a final no. It may be, I'll have to get to that later. I can't do that right now, but I do want to help you with that later. Follow up with me here, or I'm going to set a reminder to follow up with you. And I also remove a lot of distractions from my life. I think a lot of people will find that super easy. So I talked about that today when I said, I do my best work at the studio, because when I'm home and I work, it's like, oh God, I got to get the kids' laundry ready. I've got the kitten jumping all over me, wanting to snuggle. I've got a whole season of Orange is the New Black that I haven't watched yet. I've got my packages coming in and out because I'm an Amazon whore. It's just so many distractions. So being down at the studio helps. If you don't have a studio, see if you can find one. You can co-work with somebody, or even just go to Starbucks or a coffee shop. Get your earbuds in and just focus. Again, I do a lot of boundary setting and removing distractions in my inbox too. If you guys haven't heard of Unroll Me, you definitely want to. It unrolls you, or it shows you things that you can unsubscribe to. Not your mother-in-law's issues, baby. Sorry, unless they come in your inbox, it doesn't work that well. But actually, emails that you probably signed up for that you don't even remember signing up for, and then each day you're not even reading them half the time. You're just deleting them, and it takes care of all of that. It's like, hey, good morning. Here's what's coming in, and here's what you need to delete. You haven't opened an email from XYZ in so many weeks. This is what you need to do. So I think that streamlining is super, super important. I have 2 children whose birthdays actually bookend back to school. And I just had another child who had a birthday last month. So it's very chaotic this time of year. And then we're about to head into engagement season. And then we have all of these other projects that are going on. So please, by no means think that my life is just like all order and deliciousness. It's not. But I do have systems in place that can help me when I'm ready to sit down and work. I can get it done. So I do hope that this helps you guys, or it gives you a little bit of insight into my work process and my thoughts on boundaries with work and everything else. Of course, as always, if you have the Anchor app, you can call in, drop a message, let me know what you think. You can always DM me on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. All right? So have a great week. Happy Hump Day.